All right, so good morning, friends, and once again, welcome to the eighth day of this business and life coaching program that we are uh, running currently. Today, we are going to discuss a very important aspect of any businessman. I would say not only businessman, but really speaking for everybody. And that aspect is effective communication and relationship management. Without any doubt, everyone on this earth wants to become successful. More so in case of businessmen. Businessmen also want to become successful. They want to reach pinnacle of the height in their life. In my experience, and in the experience of millions of people across the globe, for becoming successful in any walk of life, one very important quality is to be a good communicator. And when we talk in terms of communication, one thing that we must understand very clearly at the outset, good communication does not mean as to how good is your English. Also, please understand, good communication does not mean as to how good you are in oratory. Good communication simply means whatever you are saying to any person, whether your message is reaching to the heart of that person. तो अगर आप कुछ कह रहे हैं और आपकी बात जाके सामने वाले के मन को छूती है और सामने वाले के मन में ये इच्छा पैदा होती है, वॉट एवर ही इज आस्किंग, आई मस्ट डू दैट जॉब. If that is what is happening, that means there is a good communication, there is an effective communication. Now, coming to how to become good communicator, how to reach to a point where you as a leader are able to touch hearts of the people. So you as the owner of your business organization need to continuously communicate with your people. And remember, many times you have to also communicate news which may not be very good, which may not be very pleasing for people to hear, but you still have to communicate those news with your people. And your skill in communicating those messages to your people will determine whether you are able to still command support of your people or not. Now the question is, at the deepest level, what are the things that impact our communication ability? And from that point of view, I would like to tell you here that we need to understand two things very well for becoming good communicator. And what those two things are? Those two things are, number one, neuro linguistic programming, NLP. And second thing that we need to understand is something which is known as emotional intelligence, EI. A lot has been written about NLP. A lot has been written about emotional intelligence, and more written, more confusion. In this session that we have today, I'm going to put in very simple words as to what is NLP, what is neuro linguistic programming, and how this neuro linguistic programming can be used for transforming our personality. And again, in very simple words, I am going to discuss with you what is emotional intelligence and how emotional intelligence can be made use of for becoming good communicator, for becoming effective communicator. Let us take first thing first and talk about NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming. What is NLP? Now let me tell you friends, why India is considered as the guru of the whole world, and that is because our scriptures, our Vedas, Upanishads are full of knowledge. And the kind of knowledge that we have in this country, believe me, having traveled across the globe 4 times, I know for sure that the kind of knowledge which is available here in India, the same kind of knowledge is not available anywhere in the world. So when you read Vedas or when you read Upanishads, you come to know one thing, and that one thing is when we come on this earth. So the rich knowledge, the rich reservoir of the knowledge that we have in this country, it tells what it tells. It tells, number one, that when we come on this earth, we come on this earth with 2 things. And you know what those 2 things are? Those 2 things are, number one, we come on this world, on this earth with something which is known as biocomputer. So what is biocomputer? The brain that we have is our biocomputer. And we all understand, we all know by experience, because every one of us use computer day in and day out, and we understand it very well that no computer can function, no computer can operate unless and until it has a software in it. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Of course. So not only we come on this earth with a bio hardware, but we also come on this earth with a bio software. And what is the bio software? Our mind is our bio software. So remember, when we come on this earth, we come on this earth with 2 things. Number one, we come on this earth with the bio hardware, which is our brain. And number 2, we come on this earth with something which is called as bio software, and that is our mind. Interestingly, the bio software which Dhanesh has, or Sudhir has, or Nachiket has, or Ankit has, or anybody else has, the software that all of you have in your computer, remember, are the standard one. Yes or no? Right? So most of you will have the Microsoft or MS Office as the standard software. But the bio software that all of us have is a unique one. That means what? That means this bio software that all of us have in our brain, it is a unique one. And why it is a unique one? Because this software has been created by every one of us individually by the Almighty, by whatever name we may call Him. And how has He designed that bio software for every one of us separately? Because that software is designed by that power, that's the superpower, based on our past karmas. And that is why friends, I am sure you will notice that in real life we see a lot of people who are constantly struggling, but they are not able to achieve the success. We also see the people who have everything without making any effort. Now, why should that happen? Why does it happen? And that is because every one of us have a unique software, and that unique software is separately designed by the Almighty for every one of us separately. I'll give you a very interesting example. Why we have this software? What proves that we have this bio software? So basically, in principle, all of us come on this earth. We come on this earth with the bio hardware, which is our brain. We come with the bio software, and that is our mind. And then what do? When we just live our life based on that bio software. Why? Because that means what? That means our life is already programmed. Our life is already programmed. And I'll give you an example. The example goes like this. You must have seen in your own life, something went wrong which was not as per your expectation, which was not as per your choice, which was not as per your preference. So something that you did not want to happen happened, or somebody uttered a bad language, or somebody made you angry. Somebody said something which upset you. So when you became upset, you became angry. And when you became angry, after a while what happened? After a while, you became normal. And when you became normal, what did you tell yourself? You told yourself, oh my God, why the hell did I lose my head? There was no reason for me to become angry. And it's not good to be angry in any case because it doesn't help. So therefore, what you do, you regret. For a while you regret, why did I become angry? And then what you do? Then you decide, next time I will not become angry. And then you become normal. And then what happens? Again, after 2 days, something happens which is not as you wanted, which is not as per your expectation, which is not as per your preference. And then what happens? You again become angry. You again become angry. Then you again regret. You again regret. You again decide that next time you will not become angry. You will keep your head cool. And then what happens? You keep on doing it time and again, time and again, time and again. And that is why it is happening. It is happening because all of us have a fixed software already. What does it mean? It means many of us have a lot of viruses in our software. So the people who lack in confidence, people who are low in esteem, people who become angry very quickly, people who are constantly flooded with negative thoughts, people who are always worried, people who are always under tension, people who are always under stress. That means what? That means in the software of these people there are a lot of viruses. And why these viruses are there? These viruses are there because of their past karmas. Or now a question can come to your mind, that if you call the Almighty as Parampita Parameshwar, so if you call him Parampita, the question can come to your mind that how a father can put viruses in the software of his son. And your question is very valid. But remember what this power says. This power says, look, I am a system. I am unbiased. I cannot take position. I have to make your software based on your karmas. So if you have done good karmas, your software, your bio software is going to be full of positivities. But if you have done bad karmas, your software will obviously have a lot of viruses. But at the same time, the Almighty does not want us to live our life in misery. And therefore, please understand, together with the bio computer, together with the bio software, the Almighty also gives us something called as a debugger. And what the debugger? The debugger is our viveka. The debugger is our viveka. Now please understand, this word viveka that we hear so many times in our life is not merely a word. It is a power. It is a huge source of power. It is energy. But we do not realize the importance of this word viveka. So what the Almighty says? The Almighty says, yes, because of your past karma, there are a lot of viruses in your bio software, but I am giving you a tool which is called viveka. Make use of this viveka and debug your software. And that means what? That means even if in my bio software there are a lot of viruses, if I use my viveka, I should be able to clear off those viruses and still be able to live a life which is full of joy, bliss and ecstasy. If because of my past karmas I am not communicative, I can still debug all the viruses and still become a good communicator. So how do you become a good communicator? Now this is the background, number one. And how do you become a good communicator? You start using NLP, Neuro Linguistic Programming. That means what? That means you identify consciously as to what are the viruses which are there in your biosoftware. And then you write statements. These are known as affirmative statements, or you call them as affirmations. So just to give you an example, let's say for example you want to wake up every day early morning morning at 5 o'clock and go for a walk. You want to do it, but somehow you are not able to do it. So what you do? You just write on a statement that I wake up every day at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then I go for a walk of 45 minutes. Just write it down on a piece of paper and read this statement as many times in a day as you can, and every day. Now what is going to happen as you read it more and more and more and more, subconsciously you are programming your mind, subconsciously you are giving a command to your brain, look gentlemen, I want to start the practice of waking up early in the morning and go for a morning walk. Slowly you will find that you will start waking up at 5 o'clock and you will start going early in the morning for a walk, and this will become part of your daily routine. Now this is neuro-linguistic programming. Friends, it's very simple. It's very simple. And the example which I can quote you is like this. We always do those things that we remember. Yes or no? Yes or no? Say yes or no.
Yes.
Yes, say yes or no. Right? Isn't it? So we only do those things that we remember. So obviously, if something is not on your mind, will you do it? The answer of course is no. If there's something is not there on your mind, you will not do. You have come to this training program, training workshop today. Why? Because you knew it very well that today at 10 o'clock you have to be here in this training room for attending the training workshop, and that's how you are here. This is nothing but NLP. So anything that you want to do, write it down on a piece of paper, read it every day as many times as possible. Let your mind become fully aware that this is what you want to do every day, and believe me, your life will start transforming, and the changes that you want to incorporate in your life, those changes will start happening automatically. And this is one way. So if you feel that I'm not very good in communication, or I'm hesitant in communication, or I don't feel confident in front of people, very simple. Write a positive statement on a piece of paper. I am absolutely confident. I talk to the people and interact with them with tremendous amount of confidence. Just write it down on a piece of paper. Do read it day in day out, and then you will realize that the confidence has started coming into you. Why? Because you have programmed yourself to become confident. I will give you one more example. Do you know this? That the Taj Mahal was built twice. The Eiffel Tower of Paris was built twice. The Wall of China was built twice. The house that you live in was built twice. The Qutub Minar in Delhi was built twice. The Char Minar in Hyderabad was built twice. The pyramids of Egypt were built twice. The place where we are attending this training program, do you know that this place was also built twice? And that is once in the mind of someone and then in reality. And that is what is neuro-linguistic programming. Remember, anything that you want to do, you have to very strongly entrench that message in your mind. The whole existence will start supporting you in achieving that objective. And that, let me tell you, is based on the experience of millions, including myself. Maybe sometime when we have some more time, we will, or I would also share with you some of the experiences which I had of the neuro-linguistic program. So this, friends, is the neuro-linguistic program. Now let's come to the second aspect, and the second aspect is emotional intelligence. Would you like to tell me, Sudhir, what is emotional intelligence? So what do you understand by emotional intelligence?
Is making decision on emotions.
Making decisions on emotions. Okay. Dhanesh, what do you think? What, in your opinion, is emotional intelligence?
Thinking emotionally.
Thinking emotionally. Okay. I'm sure you will remember in our program on how to make powerful presentation, we had discussed the example of Zidane, the magician of soccer from France. Would you remember that? So Zidane the Jadugar, Zidane the magician of soccer was in the final match of the World Cup. Only 9-10 minutes were remaining. The match was about to finish. France was leading. Whole world knew that so long as Zidane is there in the ground, Italy had no chance of winning the World Cup. Italy also knew that so long as this guy is there, we will not win the match. And therefore, you remember Materazzi, the player from the Italian team, he goes and utters some foul words to Zidane. And what Zidane does? Zidane headbutts Materazzi. And the moment Zidane headbutts Materazzi, Zidane is shown the red card. On that day, what Zidane would have loved to carry from the ground is the World Cup, yes or no? But what did he carry with him on that day? The red card. What Zidane did? Did Zidane did something that was emotionally intelligent, or it was something which was emotionally stupid? And the answer is he did something which was emotionally stupid actually. So what is emotional intelligence? Remember, you all are in the business not for making money. You all are in the business not for amassing wealth. You are in business because your business gives you an opportunity to become happy. Yes or no?
Yes.
And therefore, what is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is very simple: to communicate, keeping a control on your emotions. That means do not let any of your decision, do not let any of your communication arise from emotion. Because if your communication is arising from emotion, chances are that you are going to take a wrong decision. Zidane headbutted Materazzi. The decision to headbutt Materazzi came from an emotional hurt. Zidane only needed to think one thing. Only 9-10 minutes are remaining. The match is going to get over very soon. Let me focus on the match at this point in time. Materazzi I can handle later also. But Zidane did not do it. If Zidane would have done that, remember, Zidane on that day not only would have won the World Cup for France, but he would have also carried the trophy, the World Cup trophy, on the last day of his life. And that is what is emotional intelligence. In simple words, if I can explain to you once again what is emotional intelligence is in your day-to-day interactions, let the emotions not drive you. Do not say anything which is going to cause emotional hurt to the people with whom you are communicating. And that is the fundamental principle of communication. Your communication should not give rise to emotional hurt to the person with whom you are communicating. And friends, I am sure you can realize, and you can feel, and you can notice that most communication gap that happens in our day-to-day life whether between a son or father, or husband or wife, or the junior or the senior. The most communication gap that take place anywhere in the world is because of lack of emotional intelligence. Yes or no? Right? So the moment you do something or say something which is going to cause emotional intelligence on the part of the recipient of your message, remember, you have lost that person forever. So emotional intelligence has got two aspects. The aspect number one is do not communicate, do not take a decision which is going to cause emotional hurt on the part of the other person. And this part number two of emotional intelligence is, even if someone is communicating something to you in a way which is causing emotional disturbance in your mind, control that emotional disturbance which is happening in your mind. Let your decision, let your communication still come from the objectivity, from the rationality, and not from the influence of the emotional disturbance which is caused in your mind. So these are the two things, friends, that we need to remember for becoming good communication and good communicator. Number one, emotional intelligence. Practice emotional intelligence. By the way, the word in Sanskrit for emotional intelligence, I'm sure all of you must have heard it many times, is known as sthit pragya. Sthit pragya. And that means to be in a state of mind when you do not let emotions affect your thought process.
Stable mind.
Stable mind. Stable mind. Stable mind. So that is number one. And number two, make use of neuro-linguistic programming. So today, when we discuss many of the aspects of how to become a good communicator, how to become an effective communicator, simultaneously, as and when we pick up something, we would also be converting that message into your workbook in the form of an affirmation, and which you should be, and you must read every day, twice or thrice, as many times as possible, so that the transformation can happen in the life of everyone. So with this, we close our discussion on emotional intelligence and on neuro-linguistic programming, and continue from the rest of the part of the workshop. Thank you so much and wish you a wonderful time. Thank you.